Hi, my name is Umberto, and like many of you watching, a few years ago I wanted to start doing some gardening. The challenge was, can I really grow some food? My whole experience comes from helping out my grandma when I was a kid, but no more than that. So I joined the list of my local allotments and waited for a few years before I got my own one. But before that, I searched around with a few friends and I found a lady that needed some help in her own allotment. So I had the opportunity to try to grow something in Ireland, but I had my highs and my lows. What I noticed in this past year is the biggest financial impact actually came from the crops that I was buying. Because I didn't have a greenhouse and because I didn't know how to grow the crops from seeds, I ended up buying them from the local garden center. That has turned out to be quite expensive, and not only that, most of the plants that I actually planted in my allotment in the plot, they actually died. Mostly been eaten by slugs or they died because it was still too cold. So my goal for this year was, how can I grow crops without breaking the bank? All I needed really was a space where to grow my seedlings and the seeds themselves. If you have any comments, please, or any advice you can give me for future reference, please leave it down in the comment area. Let's see how this has turned out. Hey guys, the weather has changed again. The fake spring that we had has turned into a rainy, cold frost again. So there is not much I can do outdoor. What I thought instead is to prepare a bit of seeds in those old propagators I had from the allotment and see if I can place them on my windowsill and let them grow for a few weeks before I actually get my allotment. So as you can see, I got a big block of this coconut coir, I think it's called, and I got my propagator and I got some compost so that I'm gonna mix with these guys here in order to keep more aired soil. Is not too compact for the seeds, so they can start nicely. Right. The water is freezing. I don't want to put my hands in there. I think I might have overdone it. It's a bit too watery, but we're gonna mix it with some compost now, so it should dry out a bit. Let's see. I'm going to use this old oil pan to mix up the compost with the coconut coir and see how it turns out. So as you can tell, guys, I am no expert. It's pretty much the second time that I'm preparing things like that, and I'm just trying my luck. Obviously, I've been searching on YouTube on how to possibly successfully sow some seeds. It's middle of March, so it's the right time for those seeds I just planted. And actually, let me show you what I've done. So we got here broad beans, snap peas, gherkins, the cucumbers. I got aubergines and butternut squash. They all should grow pretty much at the same time, and by beginning of April, maybe halfway of April, second week, they should be ready to be planted in the ground. Okay, to finish this off, I will need a tray. This is where you put the water, so this other tray will go on the top of it, the one with the cells and the seeds. And then this will be the cover that, actually there are two here. This is the cover that will keep the seeds warm and humid throughout the period of growth. Once the seeds will grow enough, this cover will come off. And also, I think it should be quite warm by that time. House started to look a little bit like a garden center. Look how big they are. We need to plant them as soon as possible, I guess, especially those guys here. They're a little bit too big. Yeah, I'm gonna take as well those guys here so they can go straight in the ground. So this is what happens when you put too much water to your plants, to your seeds. It's getting like completely dissolved almost by the water. When it's too much, that's how they get. Good morning, guys. Another dry day here in the south of England. That makes me feel so confident that I brought with me all my seeds and my planting kit, thinking to, to prepare more plants for the coming days. But the reality is way different than that. I went to check my plants and they're not doing so well. Those are the butter beans that I planted the other day, and it looks like at night is still way too cold for them, and they're all dying. So it looks like none of them is actually doing well. They're all gone fragile, weak. They're not gonna make it. Despite the cold weather, my aubergines, my peas, and the remaining of the aubergines are still alive. They're still okay. It looks like inside the greenhouse they do a little bit better, but still way too cold to plant anymore. So this is more a reality check where you need to adapt to the weather of the location you live in. Here at night the temperature goes down still at 4 or 5 degrees. Today is the 9th of April and it's still way too cold for those plants to survive. I do have many more plants at home that I was thinking to bring over here and maybe keep in the greenhouse, but I don't think they're gonna make it there either. So my home is definitely way warmer than it is here, so I'm gonna keep them there for some time, even though my living room is starting to look like a garden center. So I think for now this is all in terms of planting. You're gonna see more video coming in the near future, hopefully very soon. And yeah, that's it really. If you want to support the channel, give it a like to the video, leave us a comment, and give it a subscribe. And I will see you on the next one. Ciao.